You're watching a very special edition of Dawn Patrol with the 2016 World Champ Tyler Wright. Great to have your company. We're here with a fantastic opportunity to chat with the new World Champ Tyler Wright. Great to have you with us. We're going to be looking back on Tyler's life and career. It's been an amazing one, and it started pretty early on. But before all that, of course, 94 was the year you were brought into the world, the fourth child in a full-blown surfing family, and it looked like, Tyler, you had a pretty fun, amazing childhood.
I did.
What's going on here?
That's me skiing. I think I was about 3 or 4, maybe then.
Beautiful. Always getting into stuff when you were pretty young.
Yeah, very young.
How old were you when you actually got into surfing?
Maybe 3, maybe 4. But I think I was just in the water because Owen and Tim and everyone else was doing it. So I was like, they just picked me up and put me on the board, and then I was away.
Beautiful. All right, let's fast forward a little bit here, because the big results kept coming at a pretty young age. You had great success, and you actually had a breakthrough win, a win at 14 years of age.
Yeah, I don't think I even realised at the time what I did. It was only later that I was like, oh, you're tripping. What were you doing back then?
It still freaks me out. I don't think that will ever be accomplished by anyone else in the sport. But let's go ahead and have a look at some of this vision and see just how much of a grom you are here. Surfing against Silvana Lima, Lane's event obviously, but there's also a couple of pretty special people here that actually cheer you up the beach. Your good friends and peers at the time, Stephanie Gilmore and Jessie Miley Dyer.
Yeah, 8 years ago now, and I was there on the day when I won my first world title. It was pretty cool to look back that they're good friends, and yeah, it's so funny.
It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you had a pretty strong performance in your very first event as a full-time competitor on the Gold Coast, and in an event that everyone was calling just a huge jump in the evolution of women's surfing. Do you remember that contest?
I do. Vaguely, kind of. I think I got second to Carissa, and in the final... You're
only 16 years of age at that point, so, very young, and we're just going to kind of move through your career pretty quickly. You had a fourth place finish that year, you were Rookie of the Year. The results just seemed to kind of flow for you. You weren't really talking about world titles at that stage, you were just enjoying yourself?
Yeah, at that I think it was just all about learning, kind of growing up. I was very young, so I took the time to kind of not really have a focus so much on a world title yet, because I knew I wasn't ready, and I took my time to be ready. And yeah, it was more about just getting kind of in the rhythm of it and what world tour life was like. It
was around about 2013, I feel like things started to click. You hit a turning point. Before the tour season kicked off, you did a trip with your brother to P-Pass.
Yeah.
And just performance-wise, there seemed to be a big change in your surfing that year. Did you sense that?
Yeah, I came back from the end of 2012. I was really kind of a little bit burnt out, and so I took a little bit of time, and then going into 2013 was just all about, surfing, doing it my way, and I managed to get some pretty cool stuff done.
Talk to me about your performances in big waves. At this point, were you liking taking on more challenging conditions?
Yeah, it was just opportunity, and this opportunity came up with Ripco and Owen to go to surf some big barrels that I've always kind of loved but never done, and having Owen there kind of teach me pretty much how to ride barrels probably in that, in those couple of days. So it was a pretty cool experience, and then, obviously when it was bigger as well, it was more daunting, but he also taught me how to take on bigger waves.
A very successful trip too. You bagged 3 Surf magazine covers, and I think at this point, there wasn't a lot of women taking on waves like that, and it definitely seemed to be a bit of a changing in the approach of all your peers as well. That year, 2013, you actually had a runner-up. You had a couple of CT wins, and that definitely flowed into the 2014 season. You just seemed to be getting there with ease, but you've gone on the record and said that at that point you weren't really ready to chase down world titles. What was the thought process there?
At the start of 2013, it was such a fresh start that I kind of scrapped everything that I knew and wanted to kind of build up a foundation of what I was comfortable with, and I wanted to take my time and explore kind of what kind of surfer I wanted to be. And yeah, there was a few years that I was really close to world titles and was quite open about it that I didn't want one, and I wasn't actually going for one, and I just knew I wasn't ready yet. And not that I didn't try that time to continue to get one. But I knew I wasn't ready, and when I was, I came out and said that I'm ready for a world title. I'm going to go for one.
Sometimes in those situations where you were a bit blasé about your results and whatnot, people were sometimes openly criticising you as well, or different world champions saying if she wants to win a world title, she has to really want it. What did that kind of critique do to your confidence?
I think at the start, when people kind of started criticising me about that, I was a little bit like, but then, I don't know, I was a bit taken back. I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever though. Like, I continued doing my thing, and because I came on so young, and by the time I was 18, I was kind of a bit burnt out. So I looked at that and was like, look, I'm not going to do that again, and I want to be ready and comfortable enough to go that no matter what anybody says about me or about anything that I do, that it doesn't matter.
You are watching a Dawn Patrol special with the world champ Tyler Wright. More to come right after the break. Welcome back. We're here with 2016 World Champ Tyler Wright. No, it's definitely interesting. Everyone has a different journey to get to that world title. And you mentioned burnout. 2 title runner-ups. This is a point where you'd been on tour for 4 years. You hadn't done worse than a top 4 finish. And then 2015, you had your worst ever finish, but still in the top 5, in 5th position.
Yeah.
And it seemed like that year, we're going to bring it up now, there was a major turning point, and that was in France. And it was the first time that we'd heard you verbalise that you really wanted to get a world title.
Yeah.
So I'll just play this interview.
You know, I've been in a state of like confusion on what's going on, but you know, I finally realised the difference between someone that doesn't care and someone that cares, and I care. So, and it feels so much more like, I don't know, it's so fulfilled, and just, you know, Owen, he just said to me, welcome back, you know, this is it was bound to happen, but I couldn't have done any of this without O, and Matt, my shaper as well. He's been absolutely on fire, and the rest of my family that's hopefully watching, they're probably not, they're probably all asleep, but that's all right. I'm pretty stoked, yeah.
All right, so really set on your goals there, but the interesting thing for me is the payoff for Owen. Obviously, he's gotten in your ear and said, you know, let's have a crack at a world title at that point.
It was just getting to that point of being ready to make that decision, and having Owen there just as you know, kind of that soundboard that I needed, and someone that totally understood where I was at personally and then professionally as well. And once I kind of decided, he was like, yeah, welcome back, go and do it. You're sweet. We all know you can.
You know, there's been a lot of people that have played a big part. Obviously, Owen, you mentioned him. You lost your uncle just before the France event. That had a huge impact on you. But it definitely felt like what happened with Owen at the end of the 2015 season with that injury at Pipeline kind of just added to the fire. You had a lot of purpose when you were competing.
Oh, you know, having everything that went down in 2015 and then coming into the 2016 season, you know, I brought on a coach and Glenn Hall.
So how did that even come about, Glenn Hall? Because I heard that Owen was thinking about working with Micro as well this season.
Yeah, Owen was working with Micro, and that was, you know, he talked to Micro and he was on the team, and, you know, it was actually, I think it was in early January, I was talking to him, what do you think about if Glenn's got a spot on the team for us still? Do you reckon he would want to work with us? And he's like, I don't know, you know, I'll give him a call and, you know, pass your number on, and that's about it. And then a couple of days later, Glenn gave us a call.
And what was one of the first things that Micro helped you?
Paddling.
Helped you with? Really?
Paddling, yep. I suck at it. I'm so cruisy a lot of the time, and, you know, I'll finish a wave and I have you got a little T-Rex paddle. Like
Little arms.
Little arm paddle, and because I never really, like, I just kind of, you know, plonk. No rush, no particular purpose of like moving quickly. So that was one of the first things, and then getting further in and working with him now, it's opened up a whole new world of competitive surfing. So I really get into it. I love it. It's such a part that, you know, I've always been able to do a lot of my natural abilities of surfing, and adding this kind of competitive side is like makes it really fun. It's like a game.
Obviously this world title run started in the off-season. There was a lot of work that went into it, and the payoff was there with the first event. A really strong performance there, but this had to be one of my favourite moments from the year. I was actually in this room at the time. It was tears galore. Owen had been pretty underground, hadn't really been putting himself in situations where he was surrounded by a lot of people, but he wasn't going to miss your first event. I mean, that still gives me goosebumps to this moment. I can see the tears in your eyes as well, but that was incredible. I mean, watching you get jetted up the beach by Mikey and Tim, and then having them point Owen out to you, and just the surprise on your face was priceless.
When I got to the beach and having that moment of just being cheered up, and you know, they pointed out Owen, you can see us all erupt, and we're all psyched, and he wasn't meant to be there, and I'm like, too happy to be like, go home. So it was such a special moment to have that kind of moment that we all shared together, that we're all there for, and that we could all celebrate in something good.
Awesome. Bells Beach, it didn't go to plan 100%. Quarterfinal finish there.
Yep.
Margaret River, you bounced back in a big way. Yep. A victory there. Brazil, another win. Very strong performances. After Brazil, you went to Fiji. And Fiji was a tricky one. You had your worst result, yet you did manage to get yourself maybe the wave of the year on the women's side of things. What was going through your mind inside this thing?
Just not a lot, actually. It was just like, make it out.
Good call.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I was so committed already, and I think it was just because I said no to the first one. I just had three brothers' voices in my head just going, you go in the next one. And I did, and it turned out pretty good.
I think it was your little bro, Mikey, who's really been pushing you in the bigger stuff this year.
Yep.
And probably had the two waves of your life this year. This one in Fiji, backhand, no hands. Also on the south coast during a big swell, you paddled into definitely the best tube of your life.
You know, that all happened within 2 weeks. It was just, you know, we were chasing a swell down home, and, you know, I saw it, and I was like, not it. And Mikey's like, no, you go in. I'm like, yeah, I know. And turned and paddled and went. And it was incredible again. It was, you know, moments like them you kind of don't really forget. And it's nothing about anything else but just proving it to yourself. And, yeah, Mikey is of the opinion that if he can go a wave of any size, so can I. So go. So that's pretty much his mentality as soon as I'm out surfing with him.
Love it. Everyone needs a little bro like Mikey.
Yep.
You are watching a special edition of Dawn Patrol here with Tyler Wright and running through her career. More to come right after the break. You're watching a very special edition of Dawn Patrol with the 2016 World Champ Tyler Wright. All right, let's get back onto trestles.
Yep.
An event that, you know, for a lot of different reasons, I see you doing well in. You're so well-rounded. You've got a lot of tricks. But there has been some amazing performances from Steph Gilmore and Carissa there in the past. You'd have to overcome Steph in the final to get a win. What are your thoughts going into the back half of the season with that contest victory? That's already 4 wins. Are you thinking, okay, don't drop the ball now, it's in the bag?
No, it was more so I've still got work to do. It was, you know, we put so much prep into that event and into the back end of the season that I was so adamant that I was going to win in France. So it was already, to me, it was already done. I already had this world title. It was just a matter of going and doing it now, and that was like the real easy kind of part of it, because to me it was everything that was hard was in the decision and deciding when I was ready, and then just going and do it was like sweet.
Has there been a point in the year at all where the anxiety of having Courtney chase you down, or even just the fear of losing your grip on that world title kind of got to you? Did you ever suffer any anxiety like that?
No, because I think, you know, it was really weird because I've been in world title races before, and I know what, even when I wasn't going for them, I felt so much build up and so much anxiety about the whole thing that, you know, it was almost like, oh, like it made me more adamant that I didn't want the thing. And even though I would get up the next day and go for it, and yeah, I guess that didn't make a lot of sense to people, but you know, there was a moment during the France contest that I started to feel this build-up in me. And I was like, oh, that's unusual. That hadn't been there all year. And so I was like, oh, you know, why are you having a build-up right now? Like, what's up? And, you know, just, I think for me it was more the reason of why I was doing to it. You know, I had such a reason to go out and do that, do what I did this year. And, you know, I think it was like 4 days before I won, I just sat there and cried for a little bit and was just completely content to sit there and cry and just kind of let all the build up in me of the reasoning why out. And then when that moment came, I could completely enjoy it. And I've felt the same ever since. Yeah.
France, you got the job done, and fitting that it was there because you've had such success there. It was where you made the announcement you're going to chase your world title, and here you are. And I think really celebrating the fact that you were riding through the year with O and for him, wearing his number on stage there.
Yeah, it was a very cool moment. I love my family so much, and I'd honestly do anything for them, and it was such a moment to celebrate with them, and to, you know, we have had a tough year, you know, as a family and as a town, and you know, it was my way of giving back of what everyone's done for me and the support that I've gotten throughout my entire life, and just everybody that's come around in the last year who have really been there for us, and just having that moment to know that I don't forget that, and I don't forget the people that raised me and who have shaped the person that I am today. And for me to be able to go out and do this, it was my thank you to them.
I watched this moment on TV back home, but I swear I could hear the noise in Culburra, which is about a 4-hour drive away from my place. The party started in Europe.
Yes.
But it didn't finish in Europe.
No, it didn't.
You flew home, your whole family, sporting your jersey, met you at the airport. That must have been such an awesome moment.
Oh, it was so cool. It was, they were so funny in that moment. They were like, oh yeah, we're like super psyched. We'll just kind of run and tackle, yeah, like do all this real funny stuff like we would normally do. And then heaps of cameras showed up, and then we were all like, act normal, guys, act normal, you know. And so once we got out of the cameras, it was incredible.
And it was pretty cool to see. You ended up having a big title bash down near home, and so many of your heroes were there, which I thought was fantastic. People who have been massively influential in your life. Who are some of those names?
Yeah, so pretty much the 150 people that turned up were, and it was all immediate family, and as well, you know, Lane Beachley showed up as well, and she came and celebrated. It was so cool because, yeah, she gave me an opportunity at 14 and saw potential in a kid, and it was crazy. I knew literally every person there, and it was just all immediate family.
Beautiful. You said before, you know, you weren't ready to be a world champion, but now you are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that comes with being in that position, and you know, you're obviously going to be playing hero and a big influence in young surfers' lives. Are you ready for that responsibility?
Yeah, I look at it as an opportunity for us, really, and you know, I look up to the girls that have known me since I was like 9 years old, and that is Steph and Jessie and Lane, and the people that I've got to learn from. And if I could ever be as close as how good they were for me, you know, I'd be psyched.
There's one event left on the schedule. We're here at Maui. You've seen John Florence like really start to get after the final couple of events of the season. How hungry are you for victory here at a destination that you've never had a win? Yeah,
it's super interesting because I've never been this relaxed, but for an event, and it's very different, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm excited. I'm really excited, and it's funny because we actually get to work on more now than we did throughout the year, because at certain points we're just like, all right, this is what you've got, so this is what we're going to use. And now it's like, all right, we've done the big thing for this year, and leading into this event, it's more like, all right, what haven't we worked on during an event, and that we can work on now. And we have this amazing opportunity to really kind of start pushing what I want to push, and adding in things that I haven't been able to add in because I haven't had the right percentage rate of making them yet. So it's more, I've got this incredible opportunity to really push and excel in areas that I really wanted to excel in right now, and I'm excited about that.
Sounds like we're going to see some new moves here at Honolulu Bay, but just quickly, obviously people like me are very annoying. You win a world title, you get a couple of weeks to celebrate it, and we want to know what you got planned for next year, and if you're going to be chasing down that second world title in 2017. Are you looking that far ahead yet?
Yeah, I'm going in with the same goal, you know, I'm going after my second world title.
All right, well, she did it her way. She got her first. She's going to chase a second. Tyler, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Awesome seeing you achieve your goal, and looking forward to seeing what you do here at Maui.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that's Tyler Wright, your world champion.